You know that voice. You've definitely heard it before, maybe at a press conference or an international film premiere or during some global news event. It's that calm, steady voice layered just underneath the main speaker, translating everything in real time. We hear them constantly, but we rarely, if ever, stop and think about the incredible mental gymnastics happening behind the scenes. So today, we're pulling back the curtain on this hidden world.
I mean, it really all boils down to this one question, doesn't it? It's not just about knowing a bunch of words in two languages. It's a high-pressure performance that demands this unique cocktail of brain power, cultural smarts, and just nerves of steel.
Because what these professionals do, it goes so far beyond just a simple, literal translation. It's really a craft that requires a super deep understanding of how we communicate in the first place.
See, the core goal here isn't just to swap out words. It's to rebuild the entire message, with all of its little nuances, its emotion, its cultural context for a brand new audience. And to do it instantly. You're not just transmitting words, you're transmitting an entire world of meaning.
And that brings us to the immense pressure of the job. It's often described as a mental high-wire act, performed live, with absolutely no safety net.
Just think about it for a second. There's no backspace key. There's no asking the speaker to, hey, sorry, could you repeat that? No time to flip through a dictionary. Every single word goes out live, and any mistake or even just a long pause can completely derail the whole thing.
You know, in a normal chat, we pause, we correct ourselves, we say, wait, what did you mean by that? An interpreter, they can't do any of that. They have to listen, process, and speak all at the exact same time, keeping up this smooth, unbroken flow. The mental load is just unimaginable.
So it's really no surprise that when you ask experts what the most important skill is, it's not just about being fluent in a language. It's this. It's an incredible amount of psychological resilience. The ability to manage that intense stress and think clearly when the whole world is watching, that's what separates a good interpreter from a truly great one. But the pressure isn't just about speed. It's also about navigating this cultural minefield where a direct word-for-word translation can completely, totally fail.
Just imagine a speaker tells a joke that only works because of a pun in their language. Or maybe they reference a local politician that everyone in their country knows. A literal translation would be completely meaningless, right? The interpreter has to instantly get the intent. The speaker's trying to be funny or trying to make a comparison, and then find a cultural equivalent that works for the new audience. And that's before they even have to deal with super thick regional accents that can be almost impossible to understand.
So how do they solve this puzzle? Well, it's not about memorizing more words. It's all about creativity under fire. They have to improvise a new joke, use logic to quickly explain a cultural reference, or use their imagination to find a phrase that has the same emotional punch. It's this constant, rapid-fire problem-solving exercise.
So what kind of mental toolkit does a person need to pull all this off? Well, it's a pretty fascinating combination of intense training and, frankly, some innate ability.
Okay, for every single phrase a speaker says, the interpreter's brain is running this 4-step process in a split second. They're listening to the end of one sentence while they're already translating the beginning of it, all while analyzing the speaker's tone and searching for the right cultural fit. It is an absolutely incredible act of cognitive juggling.
And it all rests on these key skills. You need the concentration of an air traffic controller, the stress management of a bomb disposal expert, and the clear, engaging delivery of a professional broadcaster. On top of all that, they're often working in a tiny booth, coordinating with producers and sound engineers, so being a tech whiz is a must.
So why does this incredibly demanding job matter so much? Because in our interconnected world, these interpreters are the invisible engines that power global communication.
The impact is just staggering. A message in its original language might reach a few million people. But with skilled live interpretation, and then you add localization like dubbing and subtitling, that same exact message can suddenly reach hundreds of millions. It expands its audience exponentially. They are literally breaking down the barriers to global understanding. And they do this across the entire media landscape, from the seriousness of a presidential press conference to the creativity of a casting session for an international movie. From the news we all watch every single day to the video games played by millions. Interpreters are the essential, invisible link that makes all of it possible.
And here's the beautiful paradox of the whole profession. When an interpreter does their job perfectly, you almost forget they're even there. The communication just feels seamless, direct, and totally effortless. Their goal is to be so good that they become invisible, just a clear channel for the message.
So the next time you're watching a global event and you hear that calm, simultaneous voice, what will you be listening for? Maybe not just the words, but the incredible high-wire act of intellect, culture, and pure composure that makes it all happen.